What's up guys, TopTierYugioh here, and today I want to show you the Sky Striker deck that I played at the Philly Regionals. I went X2-3, so not that good, but it was 10 rounds, a lot of events, or a lot of rounds actually, and so I just want to share what I played, my thought process, my rounds, and just give you guys some good content, because it's been a while since I uploaded, so.
Let's see.
For the list, I played 3 Ray, only Sky Striker monster obviously. For the hand traps, 2 Veilers, 2 Ogres, and 3 Ogres and 3 Ash Blossoms. I wanted to play Bells instead of these, and then also Impermanence, but I didn't have either of those, so I just went with this. I think these 6 hand traps are pretty mandatory. Ash is good against just a lot of general cards. It's good against pretty much every matchup in some way or form. Ogre's also really good. And Veiler, I wanted something. I didn't want to go into an event with only 6 hand traps, with Goki being in the format. I just needed something else, and this was what was available to me, so I just played it, and it was okay. I think I negated like a Sky Striker card once. I negated a Marionetter once. Outside of that, I honestly didn't draw it that often, but I think
you play Bell over it?
Yeah, I would definitely play Bell over Veiler.
Okay. What about
definitely.
Crow?
That's debatable.
That's debatable?
Yeah, maybe not Crow. I like Crow, but it doesn't do too much.
Okay.
That's it for the monsters. For the spells, 3 Engage, 3 MultiRole, 2 Area 0, 3 Widow Anchor, 1 Afterburner, 1 Jamming Wave, 1 Hornet Drones, Base, Shark Cannon, Eagle Booster. This is pretty standard for Sky Striker card ratios. The only thing that I think is maybe different is 3 multi-rolls. And I only went with 3 multi-rolls just so that I would have access to it quicker without having to search it. Because it came up in a lot of games to where if I wanted multi-roll, I would have to choose to search it and then use the effect. But it's better to just start with it instead rather than having to search it. And also there were some games where I needed the third one where one might get ogred or they would get destroyed, because generally in the grind game in a mirror match, you can't let this stay on the field, so they're gonna destroy it. And so you have to have those follow-ups. But just in general, seeing it more help, because if you get this with Area 0, it helps you get Ray, so it helps consistency too.
Did any Sky Striker card underperform or overperform?
Oh yeah, Jamming Wave was pretty terrible actually. Every time I drew Jamming Wave, it was not used. It was just kind of useless. Like, it was something that I didn't need to destroy, or a matchup where I didn't want to destroy something. So like against maybe Cyber Dragons, I wouldn't want to destroy their trap card. But there were just a lot of matchups where it wasn't useful. The only time I used it was against Altergeist once, and then I think twice I had to destroy my own back row to destroy their monsters, or just to get like a spell on Graveyard. But it was pretty bad actually. Everything else was solid. Eagle Booster I considered playing 2 of, but I just couldn't justify it. I thought 1 was enough. I never felt like I needed 2 in the event, but it's definitely something to consider. Otherwise, everything was pretty good. For the other spells, 2 Terraforming, 3 Twin Twisters, 3 Shared Ride, 2 Enemy Controllers, 1 Rhoda and 1 Upstart. The Rhoda and the Upstart are pretty standard, so they're not too important. Terraforming I think is really important because you want to see Area 0 as fast as possible, because you don't have as many Hornet drones now, so you still have to get into your engine somehow. And so Area 0 becomes really important. Twin Twisters was important because I think it's a really slow format, so you have to deal with back row, like, you just have to, yeah. So many games were just blowouts because of Twin Twisters. Shared Ride, it was just for the mirror match. I was going to play 2 at first, but I was convinced to play 3, and I'm pretty happy I did. Like, I won every single mirror match that I played, and this was pretty nice in all of them. And then Enemy Controller was actually the spicy tech card for the weekend, and it was so good. Every time I drew Enemy Controller, it was just extremely useful, and the theory behind it was that in the mirror match, you can
take their Shizuku?
Yeah, you can take their Shizuku on their turn if you're going first. So like, you'd be going first, you'd end with like Shizuku and like maybe a Widow Anchor, you would set this with it. On your opponent's turn, they're going to make their Shizuku, then you can take their Shizuku, and then during that turn, in the end phase, use their Shizuku's effect, and then it'll return to their main phase and shut off their Widow Anchor, which is really good. Then if you're going second, they might try to like Widow Anchor your Kagari or something, and then you could tribute it, take their Shizuku, your Kagari is still going to go off, and then you get their Shizuku to link on top of. And so it helps you play through Disruption. It's another spell card, and it also helps you deal with things that are stuck in your main monster zone. And so there were a couple of games, like a lot actually, to where I would get Kaiju'd or just somehow something would get in my main monster zone, and I would be able to tribute it and then activate my traps. Like, I think it was round 8, I was playing Cyber Dragons, and he had put a Kaiju on my board, and I had like a bunch of Widow Anchor sets, so I couldn't do anything, and he was gonna just summon a Rampage. Yeah, he was gonna kill me, and he thought he was gonna like kill me, and so he goes all in, overcommits. Then I tribute the Kaiju, force the Infinity, and then I have Widow Anchors for everything else.
Amazing.
So he couldn't kill me. So it was just really good for that. Putting game on board where your opponent has monsters to where you like Widow Anchor one, take another with enemy controller, summon Ray, and that's like usually 7,000-8,000. And so it was really useful for putting damage on board as well. So this was definitely something I want to keep playing. Moving on to the side deck. 3 Cherries as the only other hand trap. Again, I didn't have any other ones, and so that's just why I played it. I played it for Goki, and that was pretty much it. I didn't play it for any other matchup. I didn't use it in the mirror match because I think in the mirror match, if you play Cherries, you're down a card, but you don't lose, like your opponent doesn't lose anything that important. Like they lose maybe all of their Kagaris, but you have to summon Kagari too, so they just take yours. And then you can take Shizuku's, and then again, they'll just take yours, and so you're not really affecting the game that much. Plus, MultiRole does everything you want. Like, this doesn't stop MultiRole, so it doesn't completely shut them down, so...
So it's a neg?
What?
So it's a neg?
It's a neg. Cherries is a neg one in the mirror match. And you're trying to win on card advantage, so I don't know why you'd win the neg. And then I played 3 Forbidden Graveyards for Goki, for like going first against Goki, because you just shut down all of their stuff. It's a spell card, so it counts for your stuff. Just pretty good in general. I don't think I actually ever used it this weekend, though. Yeah, not once.
Good card.
Good in theory, though. Really good in theory. 3 Mind Controls for the mirror match, and just miscellaneous matchups. Like, I don't think I didn't use it all weekend, but it was there for when going second. So like I could just take my opponent's Sky Striker monster, link on top of it, not trigger Ray. I sided in against Cyber Dragon so I could like bait Infinity, or against anything that just made good turn on board that I could just force stuff and then play around. Next 3 Evenly Matched. This was for pretty much trap heavy decks like Altergeist. I sometimes sided in the mirror, and just any deck that just put a lot of stuff on the board, I want to clear it. I never drew it though. No, I drew it once and didn't use it. I drew it once, set it, and destroyed it with MultiRole, so I could play my Engage for free.
Sounds like you used the card wisely.
Yeah, it sounds like this is a great card, right?
Yeah.
And then the last card I played was 3 Heavy Storm Dusters.
What was this card?
It was, in theory, going to be really good. I played it for the mirror, mostly, and then also for the trap decks. But I only drew it one time. I drew it against Altergeist in the final round, and he had Secret Village of the Spellcasters up and 5 traps. And I draw this, I set it, and so conveniently, it's in the same zone as his impermanence, so he negates it.
Oh, that's so sad.
So I never got to actually resolve the effect, but it was really good in theory. It's good against those slow decks that set a bunch of traps. It's good against Draco, Strikers. Just good in general. Like, it's a +1. And again, your win con is to win in card advantage, and so +1s are good.
Yeah, +1s I heard are good.
Overall, my side was actually kind of useless. Like, in retrospect, none of these cards really got used, but they were good in theory. Like, I just didn't draw them. Like, most of the games weren't won with side cards. They were won because I was playing Strikers. Yeah. It was won because I had Engages and my opponents, like, didn't. And if they did have Engages, I was playing them better. So that's why I won. For the extra deck, Sky Striker token. It sold for Cherries. Boral Sword. This came up round 1. I played against Ojama ABC. And I destroyed a Waking the Dragon. And I almost like pooped my pants, but then I remembered that I had a Boral Sword in my extra deck. Like, I don't even own Boral Sword, and so like it wasn't even in my head to go for it. But then when I remembered I had it, it was very nice to have. Next, Ningirsu. This came up also one time for clearing back row. It's really cool because it can clear itself in an extra monster zone. So like what I did was I had monsters and I Shark Cannon stuff back, made this, then sent itself to the graveyard to clear something. And then I have my extra monster zone free, so I can play.
From the Kagaris.
Yeah, it was really good actually. Top Logic Trisbania. This came up one time in a mirror match to where, like my opponent had like a bunch of stuff set because he overcommit with a MultiRole, and so then I just went for this and set a Shark Cannon, so then I could just summon something to the point, banish that monster that I summoned to the point, and then all of his back row too. And so it was pretty insane actually. It only came up once, but it was really good. It also has pretty good attack. 2,500 is pretty respectable. Next, Phoenix and Unicorn. Both of these actually came up too. Phoenix came up a lot more, obviously, but they were both pretty solid for clearing back row and clearing other threats, putting game on board. They were also good with econ. Like, both of these actually came up multiple times with econ to where I'm like, clear back row, clear a monster, econ this, take another monster, normal summon Ray, and then that's like monster, whatever their attack is, Ray, and then Kagari.
Sounds pretty good.
It was great. And for the Sky Striker links, 1, 2, and 3 Kagaris.
No, you want to play 2?
Yeah, I don't want to play 2.
Oh.
3 Shizuku and 3 Hayate.
Did the third Hayate come up?
The third Hayate came up a lot, actually, because I know some people only play 2 because you can only, or because you can keep shuffling it back with Hercules base, but I really like the freedom of not having to do that. Like, I didn't want to have to keep shuffling these back. I wanted to keep having those extra ones. Like, if I needed to, I could, but I didn't want to always have to like you do with these. Like, I never wanted to have to shuffle back one of each, because then you're not getting that much value out of it. You're not shuffling back your spells. And one of my favorite plays to do with Hercules base is to shuffle back engages so that you can search engage with Shizuku. And so I didn't want to have to like shuffle back a bunch of link monsters too. So oftentimes I'd be shuffling back like 2 of these and engage so I could search engage with Shizuku rather than this as well. So the third one came up a lot, also just for like having the monsters to go for game, like having the extra 1500s direct. It was really useful.
So you had fun at this regional? Was it a good deck?
Oh, it was a bad day. It was a bad day, but with a good deck. Deck was good.
That's good to know.
Yeah, for my rounds, I played against 2 Striker Mirrors. I won both of those. 2 Cyber Dragons. I won 1 and I drew 1. The draw was probably my fault. Like, I probably could have played faster. I think we could have made better decisions. Like, it was a really back and forth game, or a match actually. Like, all the games were really competitive. And then at the end, we just couldn't deal enough damage because like we both like pretty much went first to set up a bunch of defense, and then we couldn't do the damage. Like, I went first, set a bunch of Widow Anchors. He's not doing any damage. He's gonna set the Cyber Overflow. I'm not doing any damage, and so we just couldn't do the damage fast enough. But it was a good match overall. So I just have to get better in the time rules pretty much. I think that would help a lot. I played 1 Goki. That was also a draw, which is weird to say drawing against Goki, but like, again, it was super interactive, and like Nick mentioned in his deck profile, sometimes you grind with strikers, and we just had some grind games. Like, I Cherries them, he was still able to combo, he had Malicious, he had everything, and so he's still able to combo, but I still could play too. So it wasn't like he gumbarred my hand away, it was like really back and forth, and so that took a while. I played Trickstars. I lost in time to Trickstars because I got like memed, like, you know, generic Trickstar, like in time, burn you for game, but I Widow Anchored the Lycaris, and so then like he didn't let me go to battle phase to attack direct with Hayate, so I ended up losing that, which is kind of scummy, I think, but you know what happens. It's the thing that happens in the new time rules, so you just got to get better and play faster, play around it. I played Blue Eyes. That was a thing. Oh, Altergeist. Is that 10?
I don't know.
Yeah,
it seems like a lot.
Yeah, 10 rounds is a lot to remember.
Yeah.
I'll post it in the description.
Yeah,
Down there I'll put my rounds, but I don't remember all of them right now.
Any shout-outs?
I gotta shout out Ocean View Gaming. That's the team that put this whole deck in my hands. I wish I could have done better with it, but you know, things happen. I think, yes, a lot of it was out of my control, but you know, it just happens. I'm happy that we did well as a team. Like, I think 7 of us went. We had 2 players in top 4. Nick, who's holding the camera right now, won the regional. When, you know, EXO won 901, which is crazy. Froggy was third place, so 2 in top 4.
With Gym Knights.
So it's 2 in top 4, which is already crazy. And then of us 7, like 6 of us got invites except for me, because, you know, memes. But yeah, so I think we get really good as a team, which I'm really happy with. So shout outs to everyone on the team. Shout outs to Nick again for doing this video. Shout outs to Aaron for letting me use his cards.
Yeah.
All the Sky Striker cards are Aaron's, if he's even gonna watch this video. Kevin for letting me borrow Boral Sword. Let's see, who else lent me cards? Everyone who lent me cards. Shout outs to you guys, because without you, I wouldn't have been able to scrub out.
Yeah, that's what was real important.
I didn't scrub out. I played until the last round and then lost in the bubble, but whatever. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below or anything. You know, thanks, guys.
Okay.